Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiano, StoreyHausBooks, and tonight we are doing part 6 of our Create a Simple Junk Journal series with me. Again, part 6, and tonight we're going to be doing more pockets, some a little more complicated than others, but we'll see how far we get. Before we start, I've got some shout outs first. Let's see, I wanted to say hi and thanks for your comments and for joining to Raven, Vicky, Jess, Sabrina, of course, my Carmageddon, love that name, Judy, Kay, Brandy, Kath, and Lacey. Thank you guys so much. And Raven, to answer your question, yes, you can commission a piece. Just give me a shout out on an email or leave a comment, or you can reach me through our Etsy shop as well. Yes, and somebody else had, I think it was Judy. I want to fulfill her request. She wanted to see the stamp, how I store my stamps, the plastic bags. So I have two ways. Actually, let me go grab the other one. I've got the one, but I've got a few ways that I store my stamps. Let's see here. Okay, so the first one is a book and the plastic bags that I get from Hobby Lobby. This is it right here. It's $8.99 at my Hobby Lobby. It is a binder. It comes with 5 inserts already. These are just sleeves, right? I'll show you one that I've got actually filled up. It holds quite a bit. This one's got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, about 18, I think, sheets in it. But this is how I normally store my stamps, and then normally I will label them what they are here at the top. There are tabs on here, and that's how I store my stamps, just to slide them in here, right? This is one of my books. This is one of 6 books that I have, actually 7 books that I have, and they are great and they're very inexpensive. The refills you can also get at Hobby Lobby. I just got one today, a refill of another 5 sheets for $2.99. Okay, and you can also get it online. So this is the clear stamps 3-ring binder, storage binder, 4 stamps. It comes with 5 sheets already. The refill packs are $2.99. Okay, that's one way I store my stamps. Some of my larger stamps, particularly my Tim Holtz stamps that don't fit in those sleeves, I use these bags. These are by Hero Arts. These measure, let's see here, 9 by 7. Okay, so yeah, these are my storage stamps. So what I do is I cut the actual title of my Tim Holtz stamp off the side, and I'll glue it to the back because that won't fit. But once you do that, it actually fits perfectly in here. Okay, that's the 2 ways that I store my stamps. All right, moving on to the next item of business here that I've got. Let's see, I have some new freebies for you guys to check out on the Kofi site that I just uploaded. My mother gave me a whole slew of vintage patterns from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So the one I uploaded for you guys tonight is this from the 40s. It's 4 sheets you guys get. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is a vintage pattern of this dress right here, and they're all uploaded free of charge for you guys, just because I love you and stuff like that. This is actually not the original. The original I actually used in some ephemera that I made for a sneak peek. I'm about to show you guys, but this is actually the digital printed on coffee dye paper, and it's gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, it looks. You wouldn't know. You would think it was the original, but. I've got another vintage pattern that I'm going to bring up for you guys that I printed on a regular white paper because it was the actual original so dark from aging, but you're going to love that one too. But this one's already up, and it's called Vintage Pattern. It is up for you guys to download at my Kofi site. The link to my Kofi site is in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, last thing before we get started on tonight's lesson is the sneak peek. Okay, so I started working on a new folio. I wasn't sure where I was going with it. I was like, I wanted to do something vintage. And then I decided, it's like, you know what? I'm going to pick one paper pack and design around that. And then we'll see where we go. So I did that. I started with the haberdashery paper pack that I got from Hobby Lobby. They still have it. I've actually ended up using some Tim Holtz and a few digitals. But I started with haberdashery. That was my inspiration. So here we go. This is one of my 4-panel folios. This has a 2.5 inch spine. These are 1 inches. Why did I make this 2.5 and these only 1 inch instead of 1 1/4? because I wanted there to be a little more room, especially right here. Okay, this gives a little bit more. It gives me a little bit more breathing room and a little bit more play as far as these inside of here is concerned, right? So the cover is, this is Tim Holtz, backed up here with some lace, doily here. This is a metal book plate that I did use brads to attach, which the brads are underneath this section here. On the spine, I actually put a little loop there you can hang a dangle off of, with an embroidery lace piece there. And so that's the outside so far. This is the matching backdrop on the back. I'm probably going to put a pocket on here. But this is just a sneak peek so far. I used this lace here that I got from Temu as belly bands. Pockets here. Open it up. To panel 1 here, we got some pockets. There is a flip out here that flips there. And then flips again, like that. A little dangle there that I made. Started making a bunch of these. We're going to do a tutorial on these bases one of these days. Got a little flip out there. And some envelopes here. We got one section here. This is panel 2 that ties up like a little parcel. Some jute twine, some envelopes. There's a flip up there. That's got a very big envelope there. Then we got a couple flip outs here with some windowed vellum pockets there. Yeah. And this one just closes right back up. Tie it up like a little parcel. And done with that. I put some lace in this part of the spine here. And here we go. We got some more flip outs here. We got 1, 2 here. Then we've got another 2 up top. 1, 2. If you're looking at the images, you're kind of seeing the theme there. We're going for vintage sewing. It's just, kind of the inspiration, not the entire thing built around it, but it is an inspiration. So you'll see pieces of that throughout this folio. Then we got some layered pockets here, of course. A couple of envelopes with magnetic closures there. And that's section 3 so far. Section 4 so far. Again, this is not done. This is just sneak peeking where I'm at right now. Closes like this. Just a little, bow there. This here is a vellum pocket, or acetate pocket there. With some Tim Holtz behind that. This is one of the pieces of ephemera that I made with the vintage pattern that I put up for free for you guys. This is the actual pattern itself. And it's back with coffee dye paper and sewn all the way around. And that's a very big tag that goes right in here, in this pocket. Here, there's layered pockets here. This is a big flip out, so let me move this over. So on this side, so it starts like this, yeah. And then we have the first flip out to this way, to the left. It goes 1, 2, and then 3, yeah. There is a magnet hidden behind here and inside this pocket for it to stay down closed right there, so it doesn't flip out and whatnot. There are hidden pockets throughout this thing. I didn't mark them all, so whoever does get this, if I put it up, will have to find them. I did not put tabs on every single thing. But this one, like I said, has got a flip out here. I'll show you this one. This one actually has 2 pockets. One on this side of the card and another one on this side. Right? These are beautiful digital images that I found. This is all that haberdashery stuff. There's a couple pockets here. This is actually 2 pockets here. One, and there's another one back in there. So like I said, you guys are gonna have to find them. The middle section is a bunch of layered envelope pockets here. And then moving this way, this flip out goes to the right. 1, 2, again 3 with some hidden magnets to keep it closed. Hidden pockets. Couple pockets here. Middle section is 2 picture frames. These images are glued to the back of the frame, so they don't come out, but they're there in case, you have something decorative until you put your own pictures in there, right? So this one loads from the side, this one loads from the top, and there you go. Like I said, this one is not nearly finished, but I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek because it's funny because this wasn't how I started this. Like I said, I started with the haberdashery paper pack from Hobby Lobby, and then I just kind of got inspired by some of the images that were there. It started to remind me of, Victorian fashion, and then I realized I hadn't done anything sewing themed, and I've got all these patterns that I could use for the ephemera, so that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's a sneak peek of one of the projects that I'm working on. One of quite a few, actually. But now let's get to our lesson for tonight. So we are doing some more pockets. we have, and I marked the sheets or the pages with what we need to fill in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more pockets to make before we even start decorating. Okay, we gotta start moving faster because I got this is a custom piece, and they are waiting on this one, so I'm kind of late on it. So we gotta get it moving. So I marked it with paper clips. Let's see what this one is. We'll start with this one. This one is, okay, faux stacked pockets. This is an easy one you can do. Okay, now, all you're gonna need to do this, put this to the side. Now, again, my pages in my books normally measure, let me grab my measuring tape so it's easier for you guys to see. Once they've been sewn in, yeah, they measure from the crease about a usable space. A little, well, the actual width is 5 1/4. But usable space, because you can't actually put all stuff all the way into the crease, right, is right about 5 inches or a little bit less. And then the height is, let's see, where are we at? Well, they're usually right around 8 1/4, right? So, I try to make sure my pieces fit within that space on my mat. Actually, so I'm a little bit less than the actual measurement. So let's say 5 by 8. So that's what I use on my mat when I'm, you know, kind of putting the layout together. So for this one, the faux stacked pockets, you're going to need, grab some paper. You're going to need 3 pieces cut. You can cut them really any size, but you want them to be staggered. So these actually measure, this one's 3 1/4, the large one, 3 1/4. Then I've got one that's 3. And then this one is 2 1/4. Okay. Now this paper actually comes from the black paper pack from Hobby Lobby. They still have it. It's got some really cool black on black patterns in it. So this is the plaid we're going to use on here. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can stack them with the small one at the top first, then the medium one, then the large one, or the other way. Actually, I mean, stack them however you want to. The trick is the pockets are bigger than they look. Okay, so what we're going to do is first, I did not ink these. Let me grab my ink pad and my dauber real quick. I'm coming, y'all. Alright, I always forget something, don't I? Also grab my glue eraser just in case. Okay, so I grabbed Scorched Timber ink and my dauber. So let's do that real quick since I forgot to do it. Now the measurements I just gave you were the height this way. Across, they are 6 inches wide. Why are they wider than my usable space? Because we're going to put gussets on them. We're going to fold gussets on them. So they'll be not flat pockets. Now I'm just trying to cover up the white core of this paper. This is already black. I really, don't care about the rest of it. Just the white core. I don't want to see. Even though we're folding it in, it's just my ADHD won't allow me to let that go. So, okay. All right. Now that I've satisfied my ADHD, we are going to make these into pockets. So, you guys know I like to use my score to make straight pockets. You don't have to. If you're good at folding your edges, go right ahead. But I'm going to score. So I'm going to take each piece, grab my scoring tool here, or one of my scoring tools. Use this one. Okay, so the bottom flap or gusset is going to be, I'm sorry, back up. We're only going to put a bottom gusset on one piece, and I'll show you guys why. So since I'm going to stack mine, the smallest one at top, followed by the medium one, then the large one, we're going to gusset this bottom one here. Okay, so let's just start with the top one. Okay, and we're going to put the side gussets at a 1/2 inch on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Scores in, score that. Put it to the side. Grab your middle piece. Mine's going to be the medium one. Again, 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/2 inch. And then the bottom part of the stack, we're going to do the same thing. 1/2 inch on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a 1/2 inch on the bottom of the pocket. Okay? Why didn't we score the bottom of the other pieces? Because these are faux stacked pockets. They are bigger than they look. So when we put them on the page, okay, just imagine right here, this is our page here, 8 by 5. Once we put them on the page, we're going to put this one here, and then we'll stack this one a little bit on the top of that one. Actually, I want to line up the lines. And then this one the same way, we're going to stack this up on top. So it looks like this pocket is only that deep, this pocket's only that deep, and this pocket is that deep. Well, in fact, since we're not sewing the bottom of either one of these, this pocket is actually the full length of this entire piece. So it runs all the way down to the bottom. It would run all the way down to the bottom of here. Okay, so that's actually how deep that top pocket is. But it looks like it's only a couple of inches deep. The same would apply to the middle piece. It goes down to down here. So it would actually be that deep versus the 2 inches that are showing. And then this is actually, you know, as deep as it's showing. So that's the trick, okay? To make it look like these are not as deep as they actually are, okay? So that's how we're going to do that. Now we've already done our scoring. So where's our bottom one? This is our bottom one. There's the top, then there's the middle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and miter these just to get rid of the bulk. Okay, so this is the top of the pocket. I'm going to go from the fold and just about the piece on the top and the bottom. Okay, it should look like this. Okay, the same thing on the middle one. And then the third one, since we've got the bottom scored as well, to miter that, you want to go where the folds intersect. So where this score intersects this score, you just go right to the center of that. And then do your corners up there. Oh God, did you hear that lightning? It is storming here. Oh my goodness. Okay, your piece should look something like this. We're going to go ahead and crease the folds there. And I'm still debating whether I want to sew these because it's going to be black on black, but I kind of think I want the texture there. So I may run over to my sewing machine really quick. Let me see. I'm going to put this to page to see what it looks like. Okay, so it's going to be on this page right here. And like I said, we're going to put the small one first, followed by the middle piece right about there, followed by the last piece right about here. Right about there. So we're going to go small one, medium one, and then the large pocket. Yeah? Like this. Actually, I want to line those lines up so they need to flip this way. There we go. This way and that way. And I think I do want to sew them. So I'm going to go sew these real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Man, it is storming outside. Okay, so I went ahead and just did a zigzag stitch all the way around. So let's go ahead and attach these guys. Now you noticed I only sewed 3 edges because you're not going to see the bottom part. And I also, if you're wondering why there are 2 notches on each one, because I put it on the wrong side the first time, so I had to put it on the right side to make sure the lines matched up when I put them down, or the lines of the design matched up. So yeah, oops. Cut these off because we don't need them. You won't even be able to see them, so we covered up. And then I'm going to leave these. Let me ink that there. That cork came out while we were sewing. Okay. Alright. Go ahead and ink the notches real quick. Alrighty. Now we're ready to go. Alright, so the first one we're going to put right about here. I think is a good spot. And I'm going to use, so because it's super glossy, I'm going to go ahead and use Fabri-Tac. I'm worried that the art glitter glue may not stick, but let's try the art glitter glue first, just to see how it does. We can always swap over to Fabri-Tac. All right, so again, remember not to go all the way to the outer edge. Let's see how the art glitter does. And I'm going to come all the way to this outer edge of the page. Make sure that that is level. It is. Okay, let's press down here and see how art glitter does. I think it might be doing okay, actually. All right. We're going to go with that then. I'm going to give these gussets another creasing real quick. They flatten out a little bit in the sewing machine. In this one, we're going to go and lay this right up on top of the other pocket. Yeah. And we're going to go up about 1/2 inch, at least covering up the end of the stitching. Okay. Now, this may be problematic because I'm laying it up against the stitching. Art glitter glue does not do very well with fabric, in my opinion, but we'll see how it does. So we're going to go right about here because I want that top pocket to look small. So we're going to go right about there. I think as good as that even. It is. Okay, let's see how it does. Press down here. I'm going to flip the page. Press it again. And I think we're doing okay. All right. And then the final piece. Again, we're going to give these flaps just another crease real quick since they flattened out going through the sewing machine. There we go. All right. And then making sure that we do not, let me see here. How's that doing? Up there. Yeah, see? I was afraid of that. So I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac right here just to make sure it stays. Come on, are we coming out? Or are we stuck? I think we're clogged. There we go. Okay. Hold that down for just a second. Please excuse my nails and my fingers. I've been working on things all day, so they are stained. Let me see how this side's doing. Yeah, it's not. I was afraid of that. So let me get over here and add some Fabri-Tac to this corner as well. See where, there we go. Now I can see. Is it coming out? There we go. Alright. And press that down right there. It's doing fine against the page, but just against that stitching, it doesn't hold as well. So on this bottom piece, I'm just going to go ahead and use Fabri-Tac. And we'll put that one right about here. Actually, I'm going to make it look like the middle one is bigger. Just for giggles. I should have made this one a lot longer. That would have been better for effect. So, let's do that. But I really want to show, like, make it look like it's bigger than this. So I'm actually going to put this one way down here. You see how far I can go down, right about there, but as far as I'm going to go. So the middle pocket will look big, but it'll be even bigger than it actually looks. Okay, so here we're going to use Fabri-Tac. Alrighty. And then we're going to glue this one right about here. See how far down I can go. I think that's as far down as I dare. Yep. Okay. Make sure that that's level. It is. This one looks a little off. Okay. Let's raise this side down. There we go. All right. Now there we go. I'm gonna press these edges down, make sure that they are catching. I'm gonna flip the page, and then just press down from the opposite side as well. And we are gonna let that dry before we test it, okay? So there's your your faux stacked pockets. So this pocket, while it looks only about 1.5 inches, it actually goes all the way down. So I think that one's dry enough that you can see it. So instead of it looks like it's only 1.5 inches deep, it's actually all the way down to there. It's actually this deep. Yeah? And then the same thing for the middle pocket. It only looks about 3 inches deep, while in fact it is about a little over 5 inches deep. And then this one is what it is. Yeah? So that's a cool way to have bigger pockets on your page. Kind of hide that fact a little bit. Next surprise. Surprise, you have bigger pockets than you thought. Yeah? Okay, let's try another one. Let's do, what's on the next paperclip page? This one is a thorn, which is an envelope in a pocket. Acetate window pocket, which is this one here. Let's see, what's this one? Let me see how we're doing on time. 26 minutes. Let's do this one. This is a full page tab pocket with a green card journal space. Okay? So this was a little complicated. It sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. So just stick with me on this one, okay? Alrighty. So what it's going to end up looking like is this is the full page pocket. Inside here I've got some pieces we're going to use. Now, if you're like me, I have tons of these blank cards that came with the envelopes that I bought, right? And I needed a way to use them. So this is the way I utilize them the most often. Besides just sticking on a page, you know, or making it a flip or something, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make a full page pocket like this, that's tabbed. We're going to put this behind it, right? We'll glue this to the page, like so. So you'll have your full page pocket with journaling space here, okay? And then here we're going to put a pocket right about there, yeah? And then you can put like some tickets or a tag in there. Okay, now you can do a tuck here instead, or you can even do a belly band here. You could actually, if you wanted to have more journaling space, you could attach the card here, like so, and be writing all right here. You can make that a pocket and just glue it on 3 sides, right? Or make it a tuck and glue it on these 2 sides and make it a tuck. However you want. This has many, many possibilities. Okay, this is just one of them, right? It just depends on where you place the card. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. This is very simple. All you're going to need is, for the full pocket page pocket, you'll need a large piece of paper. This is measures, I believe, 10 by. Let me double check. This measures 10 by. Let's go ahead and just say 10 by 8. 10 by 8. Okay. Now that will give me a pocket that's almost the size of this page. So put this to the side. And we're just going to make a simple envelope style pocket, like toy envelope pocket. All right, so if it's 10 wide, we're going to go do 5 inches in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the middle. So we'll aim for the middle here. Fold it in. And then the other side will fold and go over the edge of the first fold just a little bit, so we have a place to glue them together. And then give those a nice crease. Okay? Hopefully that's straight. Yeah. Then we're going to fold up the bottom part about 1/2 inch. Now I use my bone folder to make sure that it's straight. So I'll grab the end here and just fold it up. It makes for something, when you have thick paper like this, it makes the folding a lot easier. And usually it's pretty straight, which this one is. Alright, we're going to give that a nice crease there. Okay, there is our pocket, basically, our structure. To make the tab part, I'm going to use my envelope punch. Now, I've showed you how to do this without a tab punch before. So It's very simple to do. But if you have an envelope punch, use it. So you're going to put the end about halfway where this notch is. And then I go about 2.5 inches this way to make the tab. And then punch again. You have something like this. And then we're just going to cut that edge off. Where are my scissors? There they are. We're going to cut this edge off. There's a straight line to the end of that little divot, like so. And then I'm going to round the corner, like so. And there is our full page tabbed pocket. Yes? Okay. Now, if you want to, you can sew this, do some stitching around the edges. I may do that here in a minute. We will see. The rest of this, you use your card, and then we'll attach that once we glue this back together. Now I'm going to do my mitering that I've shown you guys before. Just cut at an angle from the fold on both sides at the bottom, open it up, and then cut off your outside flaps. And remember, don't cut at the fold, you're going to cut at a slight angle from the fold to the divot there. And the same on the other side. Slight angle to there. Okay? And then you should have something that looks like this. Right? Okay? Now, fold these pieces in. Take your glue, whichever glue you want to use, and put a thin bead on the bottom edge and then on the opposite edge as well. Fold that down. And then we're going to glue the bottom flap. Okay. There we go. There is our pocket right there. Yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and ink this. Since I've already glued it, obviously I'm not going to sew it. Since I'm not using this piece in the journal, but it's fine. If you want to go do some stitching on it, do that before you glue it, obviously. And then go ahead and do your inking. And that piece is ready to go. All right. Now, the next step here is adding the green card or the blank card. Now here you can also go ahead and do your stitching. If you want stitching here, go ahead and do that now before you attach it. Right? I'm also going to round the corners of this one. And I'm not going to worry about the back because I'm attaching it to the back. You're not going to see that anyway. So I think, so I can use this later, I am going to run some stitching around this edge here real quick. And to save some time for the pocket that's going to be here, I think I'm going to also run some stitching on this one as well. I am. So we'll save some time. So I'm going to go take the pocket that we're going to use and the card, and I'm going to run stitching on the card on these 3 edges only. Okay? I think almost 3. Now I'm going to do all four sides on this one. And then we'll attach it here. This one I'm going to go all the way around as well, and that's going to be attached here. So let me go do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, and we're back. Okay, now let me emphasize here. I did the stitching, but you do not have to do this, okay? It is not a requirement. You don't have to. If you can't, if you want to, do it. If you don't want to, don't. Okay? So don't feel like you have to do any stitching. You know, you don't have to. Obviously, I didn't do it on here. No big deal. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can always draw it on. I used to do that all the time. Just take a pen and just make your dashes all the way around. No big deal. No big deal. All right, so I'm going to attach this to the back. And I will use my art glitter glue here. There's a nice thin bead all the way around. You don't need much. It's going to be glued down anyway. The whole piece. And then I'm going to center mine right about, I'll throw it down. Right about there. I think it's good. Okay. All right. Now, there is our journaling space right here. Now, you can go back over this and do a little more inking here around the edges, or if you want to ink the whole thing, up to you. Or you can put a piece of coffee dyed paper on the inside as well if you want to, up to you. I'm gonna leave it just like it is. And we'll go from here. Alright, so there's our doodling space. And now here is our pocket that we're going to use. Let me trim some of this hair off here. Leave the rest on. And I'm going to put this right about 3/4 of the way down because I want to put a tag that's probably about that tall, or journaling card about that big into it. Okay, now I'm going to use Fabri-Tac here because we're gluing on stitching. And I'm going to do a very thin bead all the way to the edge because this is going to be a flat pocket. This one does not have a gusset. And I want to give the tag as much room as I can because we're not going to put anything else in here except for one tag. And I want it to be as wide as possible. So like I said, we're going to go about 3/4 of the way down and add that right there. Okay, I'm going to get that down, make sure it's level. It is. Okay. Then I'm going to give each end a little bitty squidge to give it a little bit of a gap. Just a little gap between that and the pocket. So it's not so flat against the paper. Just going to hold that till it holds. Okay, there we go. Alright, it's not much of a gap, but you can see there is a little bit of one there now. Alright, so that is the piece here. Now, we get to decorating it. There's plenty of stuff that we're going to do with this. We still have to make the journal card that goes in here, the tag that goes there, decorating both of those, decorating the front of this, and then attaching it to the page. I'm going to go ahead and attach mine to the page, because that's the way I roll. Where'd it go? Okay, so we're here. This is where I was going to put it. Now there's that. Now, I kind of like this one, though, that I already made. Like this. I mean, I like this, but I kind of like this better. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to use this one. Yes. And before I put it down, I'm going to put an eyelet up there as well. So let me grab my crocodile. And speaking of eyelets, I just purchased from Amazon a pack of 1,000 4mm eyelets. Let me see, I can't remember how much they cost, but they were like super cheap, guys, compared to the Craft Lear eyelets that I get, or the Memory Keepers eyelets that we get. For like, you get 100 of them for like $11. I got 1,000 for under 10 of these guys right here, and they work perfectly with the crocodile. So I will put that link in the description below as well. I'm going to remove the Craft Lear link because I won't be ordering those anymore, because I've already tested these and these are great. Alright, I'm going to put an eyelet. I want to put it here or there, or I'll put one there and do a dangle. I think we're going to do a eyelet here, maybe here. Let's just see. I keep wanting to put one over there too. I'm definitely going to put one here, so let's go ahead and pop that hole right now. And I'm going to use one of my new eyelets here. Beautiful. And I want to put one down there now. I don't know. But I think definitely one here. Let's do this corner first. I want to do the eyelets before I glue it down. It'll be a lot more difficult to try to put eyelets in it once it's glued down, so that's why I'm doing it now. And probably should have even done it before I glued it together, but we didn't, so. There we go. Oh, oops. It grabbed a hold the other side of the crocodile by accident. Whoopsie daisies. It's fine. Alright, just flip this around. Get on there. And there we go. Now, do I want to put another eyelet over here. Let me just see what it would look like. I'll lay this down, top right there. That's a little much. Now I'm leaning towards not doing one at all. So what do you guys think? I think I want to put this, I do want to put one down here. This is bugging me. Yeah, we're going to do both of those. Screw it. We're just going to do it. Just going to do it. I'm not overthinking it, which is already messing me up. Okay. If I can get in there to poke that hole. I'm gonna do it right about there. Yep. Bang. Oof. Let's see. Okay. Now put this in there. Let's see how it looks once I put it on. Okay. Now let's see if I love it or hate it. Nope, it's fine. That works, that works, that works. Now do I want to put one here? I do not. And that's too late to put anything else on those. Okay, there it is. That is it. Alright. Now I could put some enamel dots on this, which I might do. Do I have them over here? I have to let it sit overnight if I do it. To cure. Maybe I'll do it later. I can always add those later. Okay, so here is our page. And, alright, before I do this, do I want to go ahead and put some splatter on the back page? I do, so let me grab that. Okay, so let's see. It's gonna be here, so I'll need some splatter down here, around this edge, and around the top. So I might just use. Okay, so this is my archival ink and coffee. I use it all the time. I'm doing my splatter. This is Tim Holtz splatter that came with one of his Stamper Anonymous sheets. So I'm just gonna do a little bit here. On the edge a little bit. Oop. And up to the edge. There we go. And the rest of it should be covered by the pocket. Yep. You can't even see what I did right there, so let's do just a little right there. Let's see. Yep, I think we're good. And we'll go about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, or even less. I might bring it up almost all the way to the edge. Yeah, like 1/8 of an inch, even less than 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the paper. Okay, and we can splatter the pocket and stuff later. So we are going to go ahead and use our art glitter glue here. And again, I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch from the edge to allow the pocket to grow. If I can get my art glitter out, here we go. All the way up to the top there, around the bottom. here. And do I want to put a hidden pocket there? Why not? We'll leave it. We'll leave the middle open for the hidden pocket. All right. Then we'll just center this right about here, and I'm going to go almost all the way to the edge of the page. Where's the edge of the page? This one. Okay, it's right here. So let me go right about there. Make sure that's level. Yep, good. All right, I'm just going to press that down. And I'm going to go to the back of the page. And just push down here as well. And there you go. There is your full page with a journaling space flip out with an extra pocket here. Our tabbed full page pocket. Yeah? Okay, now that one's done. How are we doing on time? We are at 45 minutes. I think we got time for another piece, maybe a couple more. You guys want to hang with me? All right, what's our next one? Let's do this one. This is a pocket with journaling space, another journaling space flip out idea. Now, this is when, like a week ago, I was looking at my Tim Holtz backdrops and what I could make with the whole piece with the least amount of waste as possible. And I came up with this, okay? So what we have is just a basic pocket here with a gusset, and then the remaining part is the journaling space. And then it's held closed with a little label like so, and attached to the paper like that. So you'll have your pocket, and then open this up, and you have some journaling space. Now, the key to this thing, depending on which way you have your flip, okay, you don't want it, this particular one, since it opens to the left, you don't want it on the right page, because it'll go here, and it's a little difficult to write on, okay? You want it over here. That way it hits a flat space, it's a lot easier to write on, okay? So just depending on which way you have your flip out, all right? Now, this uses the entire Tim Holtz backdrop page. You'll only have, if you do a notch, that's the only waste you're going to have. Okay, literally, that's it. All right, so we're gonna make this piece. All right, let's put this to the side. Ugh, my back is killing me. Let me put my pin back in my glue before it gets all gross and clogged, like it tends to do. All right, now for this exercise, you are gonna want to score to make your life a whole lot easier. All right. Now, you also want to, if you're going to use the Tim Holtz backdrops, you also want to get one of the pages that has a neutral side that you can actually write on, okay? So, the first scoring is going to be, where's my scoring tool? There it is. Over here. Come here. All right, so, this pocket, we're going to fold it like so, this way, and this will be our journaling flap, okay? So, and this is going to be the bottom of the pocket, so we're going to want to score it. Actually, let's go ahead and fold it first. On the edge, the short edge, you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. Okay? Now, for the bottom part here, we're going to score that after we fold it. So, go ahead and fold in this edge. That's going to give you your gusset for your pocket. Then we're going to fold this in about 3 inches. That gives you, another 3 inches for journaling space. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, about 3 inches. We're going to fold that. That becomes our pocket. Okay? Then we'll fold this part in, and that becomes our journaling space. Okay? Really simple. Alright? Now we're going to score the bottom. Alright? On the long edge, again, we're going to go 1/2 inch all the way down. Okay? And that's pretty much it as far as scoring. So a 1/2 inch here on the short side, a 1/2 inch on the long side, and then fold it in like so, like so. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and round my corner of my journaling space, and I'm going to give my creases a nice, good burnish here with my scoring tool, or you can use your bone folder, whatever. Now, this part, put glue on the top side, not the underside. We don't want to glue it down. We want it to be the gusset. So, we'll do that in just a second. We're going to do our mitering next. Now, where these two folds intersect, let me go ahead and fold this here and give it a good crease, like so. Again, where these two folds or score marks intersect, you are going to cut straight through them. Okay? Just like that. Bang. Same thing up here. Well, not the same thing, but at an angle to the score mark. Right? Now, where these score marks intersect, you're actually going to cut a triangle. So at an angle to the intersection on the right side, and then the same thing on the left side. You're going to cut out a little triangle. Okay? Or a carrot, I call that as well. It's going to get rid of some bulk on your pocket. And then you're going to do the exact same thing at this intersection. Here on the right side, on the left side. Yes? Okay. This is what it should look like at this point. You have mitered here at this top part. You've gone through the intersection here in the corner. You cut out a carrot at this intersection and another carrot at this intersection. Now, the final part, we're going to cut off this flap. This is the one time you're going to cut along the fold line. Okay? So just take your scissors, we can use a trimmer, and just cut this flap off right at the fold, like that. Okay? And then you're going to go ahead and round that corner. All right. Now, I know that sounded a lot more complicated than it is, but once you do it a few times, it'll be easy peasy. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to fold these pieces up. Give it, again, a nice creasing. If you want to do your stitching, you would want to do that now. Okay? And if it was me, I would stitch probably around here, and then maybe, again, right around here. Okay? So I may go do that here in a second. Alright, so as far as gluing, if you're going to do your stitching, you want to do that before you glue this stuff down. Right? So, decision time. Do I want to go ahead and do the stitching on it? I think I will, to break up the script on it as well. You're also going to need a label. So let's grab a label that we think is good. Let me see. I'm going to grab this box here and see what we've got in here. Let's see. Now this is going to be basically the closure for your journaling space pocket here. Not quite. No. Let's see. What have I got down here? I think that'll work right there. Alright, so that's will be our closure label. And I'm going to pause here and go do some stitching, and I'll be right back again. Alright, you guys, did the stitching, so let's keep going here. Let's do our inking. I did go ahead and cut a notch in the pocket. And feel free to fast forward through the inking process. You guys know how to ink already, right? I don't think I need to explain it to you. If I do, this again is optional. You do not have to ink if you do not want to. I know a lot of YouTubers that do not. Completely up to you. If you don't like that look, then don't do it. I just happen to I ink pretty heavily versus some of the other YouTubers that do ink. So again, personal preference. Okay. That is the pocket. And let's do the outside flap here. Now when I ink, I like my corners to be a little darker than the rest, so I'll spend a little more time on the corners a little bit, do a little blending. So you'll see me do that. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I do that, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Just looking at my corner, do some blending on those a little bit, even them out. Okay. This one needs to be a little darker, I think. A little more there. More there. I think we're good here. A little blending up there. Okay, that's good enough. All right, now for our closure, you're going to want to ink that as well. If you're going to, you do that now before you glue it on. And it's this way up. Da, 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 da. And I've already done some splatter on it because when I cut it previously. And that's going to go right here like that. We're going to fold it around the back and then attach it here. So let's go ahead and glue our pockets down. Use our art glitter glue here. So on the outside of this flap, you gotta put your glue in. And then you only have to do one of these bottom flaps. Alright, and carefully, watch your threading if you did this stitching. Just fold it over and give it a good press. And there is your gusseted pocket, yeah? Nice big pocket. Let's go ahead and do a little ink on that back part of that pocket I forgot to do. Okay, alright. Now, that's done. Then we have our folding journaling space right here. I'm gonna give that a nice good creasing again. Now let's attach our closure. Now you only want a little bit of your label to overlap your flap there, your journaling space flap, okay? Just enough to keep it closed so you can pull it out like so and then just push it back underneath, right? So, since I only want about 1/4 of an inch overlap there, I'm gonna fold the rest of it to the back, okay? And that's plenty of that label to keep it closed, okay? Now, as far as the glue part, you don't want to glue it shut, so don't glue up to the part that's overlapping that flap, right? Just about halfway up, only the part that's going to sit on here. Now, if it was me, I would go ahead and pull my flap out while I'm gluing, just to make sure I don't glue it down. Give that a good press. Go ahead and glue down the back fully. Okay. Make sure that's down. Make sure that has some room there. It does. Alrighty. Now, that will dry. And just to test it, I'm going to push this underneath. And there you go. Keeps it closed. Yeah? And to get it out, you just push on it, pull it out, open it up, right on it, and push it back down when you're done. Yeah? Easy peasy. So let's put this on the page, and that will be the pocket for here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to do the middle or down the bottom. And we could make it a tuck too, if we wanted to, and just glue these two sides and make it a tuck as well. Do we want to do that? And put it down here in the corner? Or do I want to leave it in the middle? I'm torn. This was supposed to be a simple journal, and I'm going a little overboard with the price point here, but that's okay. I don't mind. I don't think she'll mind. And I just realized the thing's upside down. That's okay. Do I want to use that one, or do I want to use this one? I think I like this one better, the contrast of the papers. And I think I am going to put it in the bottom corner and then make this a tuck as well. So, that's what we're going to do. We are going to make this a tuck, so we're only going to glue down the long side here. And the bottom. Like so. And we're going to put this down, not all the way in the corner, about a 1/4 inch space all the way around here. Okay, now we have a tuck here, and our journaling space right here, and our pocket is here, right there. Yeah? Okay, let's go ahead and close this. The glue should be dry by now. Just slide that under your label, and there you go. I may actually want to put a little bit of glue coming up this way, just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit more, make it a little more sturdy. And it still could be a tuck. There we go. Done. Alright, that is our third piece for the night. Let's see how we're doing on time. Alright, we are a little over time. Let's see, is there anything else we can do really quickly? We can do a real quick envelope using Tim Holtz backdrops. These are really simple, really easy. That would take us it may take us like another 10 or 15 minutes just because to explain it fully. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to stop there. That leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages still to put pockets on. I'm going to do one off camera because it's just an envelope in a pocket. You guys have seen it before. It's not anything real spectacular. I mean, I guess we could do it. It's basically, I'm going to do the same thing I did on this front page of this signature, these two guys. So, I can show those really quickly. I won't go into very much detail when I explain that, so we can get through it. So, we got that one. Then we have a acetate window pocket. We have another pocket flip out with a belly band. Then we're going to do a basic gusseted envelope, and then finally we're going to end with one that's a little complicated. This one is a flip out pocket here with a vellum window and journaling space. Okay, so that one we'll do last, and this one here is the envelope, right? Okay, you guys, we're going to stop there for the night, and I hope you guys had fun tonight. So what did we do tonight? We did that full tabbed pocket, right? That full page. Where is that page? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here's our. Okay, so we did this. This is our faux stacked 3 pockets here. Then we did the. Where's that full page one? The full page pocket. Yeah, full page tabbed pocket with a greeting card journaling space here and an extra pocket there. Now again, remember you can put this, attach this part anywhere. There's many possibilities here. We can talk about those in another video when I do just a video on just these. And then finally we just did the little flip out here. That's a pocket. That's a pocket with flip out journaling space with a label closure that we actually just glued down as a tuck. Okay? Alrighty. I hope you guys enjoyed the video tonight. If you did, please hit that like button. Let me know you liked it. Please feel free to leave a comment as well. I love reading the comments. Those are my favorite things in the world to read, and I try to respond to every single one as soon as I can. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. If there's anything specific in here that you want me to spend more time on, let me know again in the comments. I will put the link to the new eyelets that I purchased from Amazon in the description below, as well as the link to our Etsy store. A couple new things went up in there today, and a link to our Kofi site where I did upload a new piece of free ephemera for you guys, just because I love you and I want you to have it. It's really pretty. I think you guys are going to enjoy that one. Let me know what you guys think. In the next video, I'm going to have a couple of options. You guys get to vote and pick which one you guys want for free. We'll do that in the in part 7. Okay? I'll see you guys in part 7. You guys have a great night. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.